We gotta talk. I'm. It's like the second we get some great news about the UFC regarding a bunch of title shots, like Jack Della Maddalena versus Bilal Muhammad, great fight. Ilya Taporia moving up in weight, a lot of excitement there. Lopez versus Volk. Volk might become champ again. You have the Pitbull signing to the UFC. It's like, then the UFC decides to do some bullshit like they've done the past few days. Let's start with the one that I want to talk about most. What are we doing? Jose Aldo returns to fight number 14 ranked Ayman Zahabi. Aldo deserves better, dude. Like, that's what the fucking half the video is going to be. We're going to talk about a couple of things. It's going to be the Aldo situation. It's going to be the Malley Merab 2 situation. I'm also going to talk about Dan Hooker and Justin Gaethje at the end of this. I don't get it. I don't fucking get what Dana's trying to do. Sean Shelby, Hunter Campbell, Mick Maynard. What the fuck are you guys doing? What did Aldo do to you? He didn't do shit to you, bro. He's a fucking legend of the sport that everybody loves to watch fight. And you disrespect him for the third time in a row? I get the Martinez fight a little bit. He's coming back. Let him jump in a spot in the rankings, fight the number 13, 12, 11th ranked guy who just came off 2 great wins over Adrian Yanez, a finish, and then Said Nurmagomedov, a decision. I don't get it, bro. I don't fucking get it. The Martinez one, he takes him to school, so what does he do? He gets ranked below Pedro Munoz and Chito Vera, who he beat the fucking shit out of. He beat the shit out of Rob Font. He beat the shit out of Pedro Munoz. And he beat Chito Vera 29-28 clearly. The same guy, Chito Vera, that ended up getting a title shot, by the way, literally 2 months before he beat Jonathan Martinez. Jose Aldo beating Jonathan Martinez, that is. So what, you rank him at 10? So that way he has to fight Mario Batista after that? What are they doing? What are we doing here, dude? Am I fucking crazy, dude? I can't be the only one that's angry about this. This is fucking stupid, dude. We almost lost Aldo. Aldo almost fucking retired. Merab almost spoiled his retirement. He did spoil the retirement. But Aldo ended up going to box, realized he still got the stuff, came back. And everyone's like, fuck yeah, dude. Jose Aldo's back. King of Rio's making his return. We're going to see a bunch of these legend matchups. We have Dominic Cruz. We have Henry Cejudo. Corey Sandhagen. Davison Figueiredo just moved up to bantamweight. You know, at the time, you could have booked him against TJ Dillashaw when he was fighting the guys like Rob Font and Chito Vera. But no. He comes back, he fights Jonathan Martinez. Takes him to school. I get it. He's got to get back in the ranking somehow. Don't give him too difficult of a matchup. Even though Martinez is a tricky matchup. Takes him to school. 30-27. Destroys him. Then they go, all right, dude, great performance. 30-27. You're going, dude, Cejudo's ranked like 6. Coming off a loss to Merab and loss to Aldo right before that. Dude, he's got 2 losses in a row. He's going to have to fight down in the rankings. Jose Aldo's going to be looking to fight up in the rankings after that great win. Maybe the Cejudo matchup's good. Honestly, if you don't want to send him up the rankings that quick, you got Dominic Cruz lingering around in the top 15. That's a Legends fight that we could get. He already beat Rob Font and Chito Vera. It's weird that he's ranked number 10, but you know what? It is what it is. Like, you're not going to put him against Font or Chito again because, you know, Cheeto's going to have to fight down against someone that is going to have to prove themselves. Jose Aldo's already proved himself. He already beat the piss out of Rob Font. Beat the piss out of Chito Vera and Pedro Munoz. You know, Pedro Munoz, the guy that Chito Vera got a win against, which immediately got him a title shot against Sean O'Malley after losing a dominant decision to Corey Sandhagen. You know, that guy, Chito Vera. But no, you know what they do is they give him the Mario Batista fight. A pussy-ass bitch that's going to hold him against the cage the whole fucking time. Mario Batista disrespected. He got the whole world hating him because of what he did to Aldo. You disrespect a fucking legend like that. Next time he gets in the cage, I hope he gets slept out flat and gets too many follow-up shots for him to even continue fighting in the UFC, that fucking pussy bitch. Stupid, dude. Stupid. You get a guy like Jose Aldo and you hold him up against the cage. Aldo beats the shit out of him, by the way. This is a damage-based scoring sport. It's damage-based scoring. Aldo beats the shit out of him. And they give the decision to Mario Batista when every single waking moment they'd get separated, Jose Aldo would piece him up. Piece him up, piece him up, piece him up. Mario Batista, I don't really like standing at range. Shoot right at the legs. Don't even go for the takedown because he got 0 takedowns. Doesn't go for the takedown. Just holds Aldo against the cage. Does no damage. No knees to the thigh. Not even the fucking knees to the thigh that Merab does that people hate because it's so boring. He just stays there and holds him against the cage the whole time. That's your respect for Jose Aldo? All right, well, at least he clearly won. He'll get the decision because Mario Batista did 0 damage in that third round. 0 damage. No, we get a split and it goes to Mario Batista. And every single UFC fan's eyes, he won that fucking fight. So you're not going to do Mario Batista any favors. Dana White was pissed in the post-fight press conference that it went to Batista and how much Batista stunk it up. And how Batista's not going to get any favors done for him. Jose Aldo got absolutely screwed. So everyone's sitting there, well, what do we do next? Like, what do you do next for Jose Aldo? I don't give a shit. I think he won. Cejudo's still got to fight down. Give him the fucking Cejudo fight. Give him the Legends fight that we desperately want to see. So we wait. Dominic Cruz gets booked against Rob Font. Not terrible, right? It's not a bad retirement matchup there for him. It's winnable. But it's also like a decent contender, so it's not bad. Then he gets hurt, has to retire. So we're never getting the Aldo versus Cruz fight. Never getting that. We missed that boat. Thanks, UFC. Good job there. But then you find out on the same card, it's Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. What? Why? Why is that the fight? So now we don't get Aldo versus Cejudo. Sandhagen got booked against Figueiredo. We're not getting a Sandhagen or Figueiredo fight. So he looks like he's going to be looking down in the rankings yet again. Fucking, let's see how they disrespect him this time. Maybe they make an interesting Legends matchup and they do like a Cody Garbrandt. Something fun that we want to see. But no. We get Ariel Helwani at home. Ayman Zahabi's coming off an impressive win against Pedro Munoz. He also beat Javid Basharat, who got slept by Ricky Simone, by the way. Let's not forget that one. Like, what? I'm so fucking disappointed. We as fans need to fucking destroy the UFC comment sections, honestly, and be like, what the fuck are you doing to Aldo? What are you doing to Aldo? This is a legend of the sport, and you are disrespecting him time and time and time again. This guy's a legend. He almost retired. You don't know how many fights we have of him left. What happened, Dana White? You know, remember when you told Stipe Miocic, how can we not do the Stipe versus Jones fight? Stipe's a legend. We promised him a fight. We're going to deliver on it. We take care of our legends here. As you disrespect Demetrius Johnson throughout his whole career, then he retires and you gaslight us into saying you actually cared a lot about him. Yeah, okay, pal. Stipe Miocic, yeah, you just have to take care of your legends. He's got to get that John Jones fight. Got to get the Jones fight. We got to take care of him. We wanted the fight to happen. But when a legend like Jose Aldo comes back into the UFC, and again, he doesn't sell the pay-per-view like Sean O'Malley does, right? But everybody that watches UFC knows Jose Aldo. Everybody loves Jose Aldo. He does sell pay-per-views, and he's someone that we are always going to tune in and watch. Every single time we will tune in and we will watch Jose Aldo. And this is what you do? You put him against Ayman Zahabi, number 14th ranked, who doesn't have a fucking... Dude, I don't dislike Ayman Zahabi. And that's what this video is going to come off as. I'm disrespecting Ayman Zahabi. I don't dislike him. But he's not... The Aldo matchup isn't for him. Give him the Kyler Phillips matchup. Give him the Montel Jackson matchup. Give him the Mario Batista matchup. You're going to try and build his name off Jose Aldo? That's what you're going to do to Aldo? You're going to give him another guy that's probably going to try and hold him against the cage, who is very brilliant, works with Fares Zahabi. They're great game planners. But that's what you're going to do? You're going to give him to a guy that's going to try and hold him up against the cage the whole time? We know that's what's going to happen. Because he's not getting Aldo to the ground. Merab didn't get Aldo to the ground. Jose Aldo fought Merab Dvalishvili. You know what? Let's just go through this now. Let's go through Jose Aldo's career, guys. Obviously, he had his great win streak, got KO'd by McGregor, then beats Frankie Edgar, then loses twice to Max. It's like, all right, dude, having a tough go here. Takes some time, ends up fighting Jeremy Stevens, knocks him out in round 1. Fights Renato Moicano, knocks him out in round 2. Then he gets Volk. Who Volk? You know how much I love Volk. Volk kind of stunk it up against him a little bit because Volk was having trouble in the striking against Jose Aldo. So Volk stinks it up. Then he fights Marlon Moraes. Gets robbed of a decision. I thought Aldo won that fight pretty fucking clearly. But no, they gave it to Marlon Moraes. And the UFC also thinks that it was given to Marlon Moraes. So they scheduled a Cejudo bout. That gets canceled because of COVID. So you know what happens after that? They go, you know what? We need someone to fight Petr Yan. We think that Jose Aldo got robbed, which he did. We're going to give him the fight against Petr Yan. And he gives Petr Yan one hell of a fight. And then the 5th round, yes, he did get beat up in the 5th round. But dude, this is Petr Yan we're talking about here. Rounds 1, 2, and 3, like Jose Aldo was giving him a run. Fight, like it was a good fight, scrapping with him. So he loses. Like, oh, it's a little 3-fight loss streak, even though it's 1 because he beat Marlon Moraes. All right, we're going to give him Chito Vera. Guy coming off a lot of hype, just perennial nerve kicked O'Malley. A lot of guys like Chito Vera. So what does Jose do? He beats decision. Clearly, easily, beats him by decision. Good win. So who do we give Jose Aldo to next? It's kind of hard to send him back up in the rankings. He's fought a lot of those guys, or they're all kind of like duking it out for a number 1 contender spot. I get it. You don't give Aldo that fight yet. It's okay. So you know what? You give him another fight to defend his ranking spot. Pedro Munoz takes him to school. Wow. Now Rob Font, you have coming off a bunch of great wins. And this is around the same time that Dillashaw is making his return to the UFC. So instead of booking a Legends matchup in Dillashaw versus Jose Aldo, we get Dillashaw versus Sandhagen, who Dillashaw robs, by the way. And I like Dillashaw, dude. I do. I like him a lot. I like how honest he is, especially on the Rampage podcast. Like, the only guy to openly come out about being a PED cheat and then get fucking crucified for it, but no one cares when John Jones does it, because he doesn't openly come out about it. He should openly come out about a couple of things, but, you know, we'll get to that another time when Guru drops part 4. That's what we'll say. But Rob Font, he ends up taking to school. And Rob Font's a great fighter, coming off great wins. So then he runs into Jose Aldo and he gets taken to school in a 5-round main event. Taken to school. Wasn't close. I'm so confused, dude, like on what the hell they're doing. Then he goes, all right, dude, here's your title eliminator against Merab. Merab, you know, the guy that's beating the shit out of everybody right now? That made O'Malley look like he didn't want to be in there, that took him down to the ground many times, that took Petr Yan to the ground like 12 times, shot about 50 takedowns on him. You know what Merab did to Aldo? Lost one of the rounds, had another very close round, and then beat him one of the rounds. Even though Merab did 129-28, but he went 0 of 16 on takedowns. Merab Dvalishvili, the guy who took down Umar Nurmagomedov 5 times, went 0 for 16 on takedowns against Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo had plans to retire after this if he didn't win. Merab ruined those plans in his own post-fight speech, and that's where the Merab hate really is deserved. Like, now granted, Merab did the thing that we wanted him to do, and that was beat one of the Dagestanis, so he's getting his love back. Right? I think he's just dumb and he didn't realize he was ruining Jose Aldo's moment. But he did. Ruined Jose Aldo's moment. So Aldo retires, goes to boxing. Beats Zambrano. Draws Stevens. Could have been a win. I'm not going to honestly tell you guys I'm good at scoring boxing. I thought Bivol won the first fight. But a lot of people think it was better BF. It is what it is. And definitely won the second fight. Then he wins again in boxing. He goes 2-0-1. 2 wins, 0 losses, 1 draw. And then he goes, I'm making my return to the UFC. So what does he do? 30-27's Jonathan Martinez. That's who he gets. All right, well, he's already beaten Rob Font, Pedro Munoz, and Marlon Vera, guys that are in the rankings at the time. You know, Pedro Munoz, the guy that Amian Zahabi beat to get into the rankings. You know, Pedro Munoz, the guy that Marlon Vera beat to get a title shot. You know that guy. So instead of getting up to the number 6 spot above Chito Vera in the rankings, Jose Aldo gets to put it 10, and now he has to fight Mario Batista, who stinks it up against him. Gets robbed, and now he gets Amin Zahabi. Stupid, doesn't make sense, don't know what the UFC is doing. Speaking of not knowing what the UFC... I'm done with this rant. You guys get my point. Jose Aldo's being disrespected. It should be. Check out some rankings right now for you. See if you can see this right here in the middle. Yep. It should be Jose Aldo, who should be ranked above Mario Batista, who should be ranked above Chito Vera still. He should have gotten the Cejudo fight. He should be getting a Davison Figueiredo fight, a Corey Sandhagen fight. Imagine how well a Jose Aldo versus Umar fight would have sold coming off 2 wins returning. And the only narrative is, the only fight he's lost in the past 3 years is to the champion, Merab Dvalishvili. Because it is the only guy he's really lost to in the past 3 years. He didn't lose to Batista. But no, now we got to put him in a situation against Amin Zahabi. Why? So he can beat Zahabi 30-27 and then you just give him to Marcus McGee next? Or are you finally going to show him a little bit of fucking respect? Shit's stupid. It's stupid, man. It doesn't make sense to me anymore. Don't know what the UFC's doing. Fucking pisses me off, because if you have Aldo go in there and he beats a Figueiredo, imagine a Sean O'Malley versus Aldo fight. How much that would sell. Imagine an Umar Nurmagomedov versus Jose Aldo fight, how much that would sell. I don't get what the UFC thinks they're doing, man. Stupid. Speaking of not knowing what they're doing specifically in the bantamweight division, here's Dana White at the UFC Seattle post-fight press conference.
Sean O'Malley looking like a rematch Merab, right? And we just got the Sandhagen.
We've heard the rumors. Sean O'Malley rumored to rematch Merab. No way they would do that fight, dude, right? Sean O'Malley's coming off a loss to Merab. But the only way that Sean O'Malley gets another title fight is if he gets another win, right? Because now you got Petr Yan in a 2-fight win streak, whose last loss was to Merab. And you know, Petr Yan beat Song Yadong, and he beat Davison Figueiredo, a streaking 3-fight win streak at bantamweight. You know, former flyweight champion, right? You wouldn't do this rematch because O'Malley's done nothing since the fight.
An announcement too. I'm kind of curious how that matchmaking came to be. Was the idea always, again, I don't think the O'Malley one is official yet, right? But we're leaning towards that.
Right? It's not official yet, but what do you mean we're leaning towards it? Dana hasn't said anything about this yet. It's just a bunch of bullshit speculation, right? No way we would do this.
How did we get there with so many different options? I think for Sean O'Malley, we could have done maybe an Aldo possibility there, especially with him, so many.
I actually didn't even catch that. You could have done an Aldo fight. Would have sold a fuck ton. Would have been a big name. Just saying.
Options. How did the bantamweight division shake?
They want to fight each other. I think people want to see it.
What's that dumb little smirk, dude? What the fuck? They want to fight each other. I think people want to see it. You don't know what people want. You don't fucking know what people want. Nobody wants to see O'Malley versus Merab 2 yet. I would love to see it if O'Malley was coming off a win. We have other things we can do, dude. I look at flyweight, the way flyweight's getting matched up. I look at the way bantamweight's getting matched up. This is stupid, bro. This is fucking dumb. O'Malley versus Merab 2. Because O'Malley's done nothing since that fight. I get it. He's your star. Like, you want to promote your star, but, like, enough with the fucking infinite title fights. This is dumb. He robbed Yan to get a shot at Aljo. And granted, he knocked out Aljo, great win, but then you gifted him a title defense against Chito Vera, and then he goes to fight the actual contender Merab, and he wins 2 rounds. But he lost the fight, and he looked defeated doing it. Dumb. It's dumb. You know how much I like O'Malley, guys. Like, I'm a fan of his fighting style. Don't agree with the cuckery, but I like his fighting style a lot. He's fun to watch. He sells. But I'm going to tell you what I would do. Flyweight and bantamweight need to figure themselves out. So in the meantime, we give one of the only deserving, I would say the only deserving guy to move up right now is Alessandro Pantoja. The only guy. He doesn't have anyone else to fight because he's already beat them all. So you do Alessandro Pantoja versus Merab Dvalishvili. That's a great fight. And now bantamweight and flyweight have a chance to sort itself out. You have Kopp versus Almabayev. In my opinion, it should have been Kopp versus Moreno and Ursig versus Almabayev. But now you also have Ursig versus Moreno. So those fights get to figure itself out. Then you have Royval, who's kind of deserving of a title shot, coming off 2 wins in a row against top contenders. After last losing to Pantoja, though. Against Kai Kara-France, who's coming off a knockout win against Ursig and also a decision win against Amir Albazi. I know it says loss on his record, but he clearly won that fight. So you have Kai Kara-France versus Royval for the number 1 contender against Moreno, against Pantoja, once Pantoja versus Merab fight. You have Kopp versus Moreno kind of waiting in the wings a little bit. You should have booked that a little bit later. They'd be waiting in the wings a little bit. Then Almabayev versus Ursig, the winner of that gets a number 1 contender fight after that. That's how you do flyweight. And then as far as bantamweight goes, we should be having Jan versus O'Malley 2 for 5 rounds. Or O'Malley versus Umar. But I'd rather do Jan O'Malley 2 for 5 rounds. Winner of that gets the title shot. Then you do Umar versus Song Yadong. And you already have Sandhagen versus Figueiredo booked. That's how you get things going at bantamweight to find out who's next. That's how you get things going at flyweight to find out who's next. Because we get a little bit of a logjam of a million different people that are kind of ready to fight for a title in those 2 divisions right now. But they need to sort themselves out a little bit. Someone's got to stand out. The only guy that has kind of stood out at bantamweight is Piotr Jan. And I'm not even saying I want to see the Merab matchup because we saw it already. It was one-way traffic. Do I think it's closer this time? Yes, but at the end of the day, I still think Merab's going to get the job done. I think Merab gets the job done against O'Malley. Honestly, a weirdly tough matchup for Merab as Song Yadong, but, I've said that about a million different people, and it never fucking works out, so... Pantoja versus Merab is the fight to fucking make, Dana. Hunter, Sean, Mick, why are you not doing it? That was the one that makes sense. The only fucking double champ thing that we see recently that makes fucking sense. I don't get it. Frustrating, man. It's really frustrating to me, but we're going to move on to the final thing to talk about today, which is Dan Hooker is out of his fight against Justin Gaethje. That sucks. It does. This was going to be a fucking absolute barn burner, people's main event. The reason people bought tickets was for this fight. Not just Alex Pereira, was for this fight too. Let's talk about potential matchups because DC, now I'm not going to have that interview up, but DC did say that Justin Gaethje's saying, I'm still fucking fighting. Sucks that it's not going to be Hooker, but I'm still fucking fighting. So let's look at some potential options here. Now, we all know that Ilia Topuria went up to lightweight. That is obviously an option, but I think you do the him and Islam fight right fucking now. Do it right fucking now, before you miss that one too. Because we've already missed Aldo versus Cruz. We're going to miss out on Aldo versus Cejudo. Right? So why not do the Ilia versus Islam matchup so we don't actually miss out on a fight again? So it could be Ilia, but that's not my decision. I think a great choice would be Arman Tsarukyan. Get back in the UFC's good graces. Take this fight on short notice. Go out there, get a win. You're back in title contention by the end of the year. I think Arman Tsarukyan's a great option. Charles Oliveira's an option, but I don't think that one makes sense. I think Charles and Max should be fighting. Poirier, again, is not going to take a fight on short notice for his final fight of his career. Obviously, it's not going to be Hooker. Chandler's booked against Patty. Fuck Chandler. He doesn't get a shot up at that anyway. But you got a guy like Moicano who did a huge favor for the UFC stepping up on literally 24 hours notice to fight Islam Makhachev. You can do a Moicano matchup. Fiziev has been dying for another matchup, and he had an extremely close fight with Justin Gaethje. That could have been the matchup, right? You got Fiziev versus Gaethje, 2, 5 rounds. That's a great one. No one would be upset with seeing that one again. You can call Mateusz Gamrot, who has been royally disrespected by the UFC. So to me, the best bet you have is you give Arman a shot. You say, hey, can you do this? Can you make the weight? The next option for me, I think it's Gamrot or Moicano. or Fiziev. Those are the next ones. So you have these three as options: Gamrot, Moicano, Fiziev. But the number one option that I want is Arman Tsarukyan. That's what I'd be looking at. This was the rant video today. Hope they can come up with someone for Gaethje quickly. I know they are already working on it. They're probably going to see who's the most active, who's got the best chance of making weight, which I know kind of gets rid of the Arman argument that I was talking about. But this was my rant video. To recap, Aldo's being royally disrespected. People need to be upset about this. People need to hold the UFC accountable for this stupid, stupid stuff. O'Malley versus Merab 2 is not what we want. There's way better things that we can do at bantamweight and, in turn, flyweight. And Dan Hooker, we need an opponent to fill in because I need to see Justin Gaethje fight. He wants to fight. That will kill the UFC 313 card. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. This was just another classic rant. Let me know what you think on the Aldo situation. I know I'm not wrong, but I'd love to see what you guys think in the comments.